For years, the entertainment industry laughed at Katt Williams. They called him unstable, paranoid, and out of touch. But now, in 2024, as federal indictments roll in against Sean Diddy Combs, with witnesses naming celebrities like Snoop Dogg and sealed testimony surfacing from Kim Porter's alleged diary, the so-called crazy predictions Katt Williams made are being validated in real time. Tonight, we're breaking down the documented evidence, court testimony, and insider accounts that prove Hollywood's darkest secrets are no longer conspiracy. They're criminal cases.
Satan and all shady motherfuckers are my enemy. I don't run from the fight. I'm not scared of consequences, because if you're scared of consequences, then that means that breeds fear, and fear means you gonna stop. And we can't ever afford to stop it.
Def Comedy Jam 25 opened with comedians wondering if Katt Williams would even show up. He was already notorious for speaking uncomfortable truths. In his own words, Satan and all shady are my enemy. I don't run from the fight. I'm not scared of consequences, because if you're scared of consequences, that means you stop. And we can't afford to stop. Even Snoop Dogg, Katt implied, had benefited by sitting on the laps of powerful figures. Katt's warning was blunt. Many careers in Hollywood rose only after stars sold their souls to sit in the director's chair. He said this before the lawsuits, before federal raids, and before Homeland Security began building a case. In late 2023, those lawsuits hit. Rodney "Lil Rod" Jones filed his explosive lawsuit against Diddy, implicating not just Combs, but Universal Music Group and its CEO, Lucian Grange. Katt Williams had already suggested a connection years prior, heavily implying an intimate relationship between Diddy and Grange. That same allegation is now in legal filings.
30 years I've done nothing but collect information.
For 30 years, Katt claimed he wasn't just a comedian. He was documenting, listening, and collecting information.
I know so many things I shouldn't know, and they all know it.
He once admitted, "I know so many things I shouldn't know, and they all know it." This wasn't speculation. It was an intelligence operation built quietly while other comedians chased fame. Now, evidence shows Katt's warnings were grounded in reality. Political commentator Candace Owens, who publicly validated Katt's statements, highlighted how his words lined up with lawsuits and sealed testimony. Owens pointed directly at Grange, saying Lil Rod's lawsuit alleges that Universal Music Group was not only aware of Diddy's parties, but actively complicit. Federal evidence and lawsuits now back up Katt's claims. Diddy wasn't acting alone. He was, as Owens put it, the thug and gangster working on behalf of Lucian Grange. Candace went further, calling Hollywood not an industry, but a gang.
I think the answer is that Hollywood has been being run by a gang.
In her words, there should be no individual in the world who can beat a woman on camera and not face charges. That is just insanity. Hollywood is being run by a gang. This isn't hyperbole. Federal prosecutors are now treating Hollywood's inner circle like organized crime, with coercion, initiation rituals, and systematic compromise used to control celebrities. Katt Williams wasn't theorizing. He was describing a mafia-like structure hiding behind movie studios and record labels. One of the most significant developments involves Kim Porter, Diddy's ex-partner and the mother of 4 of his children. A man named Courtney Burgess testified before a federal grand jury that Porter's belongings contained 11 flash drives filled with videos from Diddy's infamous freak-off parties. According to Burgess, the videos included 8 celebrities, 6 men and 2 women, engaged in compromising acts, often appearing under the influence. He also claims the drives contained a draft memoir written by Porter, including compromising pictures of Diddy with figures like Snoop Dogg and Andre Harrell. Shortly after handing materials to authorities, Burgess said federal agents seized his equipment, confirming investigators considered the evidence legitimate. This wasn't gossip. It was evidence entered into federal proceedings. The most chilling part? Kim Porter herself died suddenly in 2018 of alleged pneumonia at just 47 years old. Healthy women her age don't typically die that way, leading many to suspect she knew the danger of what she was documenting. In Burgess's testimony, names like Snoop Dogg came up. Alleged photos showed Diddy and Snoop in compromising positions. Additional allegations tied Snoop to initiation rituals, where Katt Williams claimed careers were exchanged for silence and compliance. Ne-Yo's wife even called him Little Diddy, referencing his reputation for indulging in the same activities. These weren't casual rumors. They were details preserved in Kim Porter's files and echoed by multiple witnesses. Other testimonies describe Homeland Security raids recovering tapes that allegedly feature A-list celebrities, including Snoop, participating in group acts. One woman even testified that she unknowingly appeared in those tapes, later realizing A-list celebrities and political figures were involved. The suspicion around Snoop Dogg deepens when looking at older history. Suge Knight, speaking from prison, revisited the night Tupac was shot in Las Vegas. According to Suge, Snoop was conspicuously absent. He didn't go to the fight, didn't attend the after-party, and wasn't at the hospital while Tupac fought for his life. When Suge finally saw Snoop at his home, accompanied by Tupac's mother, Snoop broke down crying and vomiting, saying, "Nothing's going to be all right." Why such certainty? Why assume Tupac wouldn't survive? Suge's implication was chilling. Snoop had already made a deal. His absence from Tupac's side wasn't random. It was loyalty to someone else. Suge later stated bluntly that both Diddy and Snoop were gay, not as slurs, but as factual disclosures about how compromise worked in the industry. According to Suge, this wasn't about preference, it was about control. Suge explained that Diddy wasn't unique. This was a system that had existed for decades, with older executives like Russell Simmons and Clive Davis grooming younger artists into the same cycle. Victims became perpetrators, repeating the abuse once they rose into positions of power. This cycle explains how artists like Snoop may have initially been coerced, but later became complicit, even participating in the same rituals used to control others. When the federal heat increases, Suge said, everyone suddenly distances themselves. Celebrities who attended the parties regularly now claim ignorance. But this silence isn't loyalty, it's self-preservation. They all know if Diddy falls, the spotlight could turn on them next. Among the strangest allegations is something insiders call the boiled egg test. According to Suge Knight, this was an initiation ritual where Diddy offered artists a boiled egg as part of a degrading act. Passing meant proving submission. Though it sounds bizarre, fans have noted Snoop Dogg's public obsession with boiled eggs, often incorporating them into his image. This might seem trivial, but when viewed in light of allegations about initiation rituals, it's interpreted as a subtle nod to his participation. The difference in 2024 is that none of this is remaining in the shadows. Homeland Security, the FBI, and federal prosecutors are now cataloging this material as criminal evidence. What Katt Williams said years ago is being confirmed in real time. Courtney Burgess testified under oath about 11 flash drives of party footage. Kim Porter's alleged memoir contained compromising images of celebrities. Candace Owens validated Katt's claims about Universal Music Group's involvement. Multiple accusers describe being unknowingly filmed and victimized at parties. Suge Knight, from prison, confirms cycles of abuse and compromise spanning decades. This isn't just about Diddy. It's about a pattern where Hollywood's most powerful figures, executives, musicians, and celebrities are controlled through compromise. Sexual coercion, videotaped rituals, and systematic blackmail maintain silence. When Katt Williams warned of this network, he was dismissed as paranoid. Now, as names like Snoop Dogg, Andre Harrell, Ne-Yo, and others surface in federal testimony, his words carry new weight. The lawsuits, sealed testimony, and raids aren't just rumors. They are documented in court filings, grand jury sessions, and federal investigations. The narrative is shifting from speculation to accountability. Katt Williams wasn't crazy. He was early. For decades, he was mocked for saying Hollywood was run by a gang. Now, in 2024, federal cases are proving him right. Snoop Dogg's name has surfaced. Kim Porter's files have surfaced. Suge Knight's testimony aligns with new evidence. And Diddy, once untouchable, is facing the collapse of his empire. The real question isn't whether Katt Williams was telling the truth. The real question is, how many other celebrities are trapped in the same system? And when the dust settles, who else will fall?